And welcome to NBA Countdown Stay Home Edition, Round 2. I'm Maria Taylor. We got Jalen Rose with the
What up, though?
Look at that light. You look good, J. Rose. Jay Will, he's got a brand new background. I think the top 50 is sitting behind him now. We might have to get into that. We've got Uncle P. We've got the Chef Boyardee, because apparently he's cooking nonstop.
All day.
What's the last
thing?
No
doubt.
What's the last thing we cooked, Paul?
Oh, this morning I made like some tostadas with eggs on top, with the avocado and the salsa and cheese.
Paul, can you pack that stuff up and send it to New York, please?
I'm gonna send y'all a picture. I document all of this.
Okay.
Gotta do a better job of documenting my kitchen skills, because I made some lemon pepper lobster tails.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Okay.
That was my most recent thing that I hooked up. No question about it.
You fancy with it.
With some spinach, extra onions.
All right. Okay.
What about you, Maria? What you hooking up during these quarantine days?
Me, I had some kashi cereal this morning with almond milk because I dunked it. I've chicken one time since we've been in quarantine. So I'm feeling real good about that. I talked to my mom all the way through it. You're cooking. What's the snack that we're eating nonstop since we can't really leave the house? What's the favorite meal right now?
Mine's just my little seaweed. I like the little seaweed chips. Just for a snack. You know, I'm not trying to sit here and gain 100 pounds.
I'm going crazy on the popcorn. You guys know I'll go to the movies and get some, and it's closed, so I've been popping my own.
Hey, Rose, real talk. You would leave the studio at the South Street Seaport, walk over to the movie studio to grab the popcorn and bring it back to the Seaport and go to work. So I respect you for that. I respect you.
Consistent. What's yours, Jay?
I'm getting fat, man. I'm having a Modelo a day with a PB&J. That's my, I don't know. It's my comfort food. I don't know.
I used to eat popcorn before every game, and the best popcorn in the league is in Philadelphia.
Okay. Special popcorn or something? Or you have
I was a popcorn dude before every game, and Philadelphia had the top popcorn.
Okay.
Yeah, I eat a lot of popcorn too.
Chicago had the best popcorn with whatever that popcorn is. What's the cheddar and the...
Oh, Garrett's. You talking about Garrett's.
That's like the best popcorn ever to me.
No doubt about it. Chicago, Chi-Town mix.
How does this happen? So many things just come off the top of your head. Like it's
I'm a popcorn connoisseur. Like you can name all of the people on that picture behind you. I can name some popcorns.
Okay, we talked about the snacks that we're eating nonstop in quarantine. Let's talk about a game that we would watch. We talked about movies before, so a game that we would watch from your career if you could only watch one, or a person could only watch one from your career, and it tells us everything we need to know about who you were as a player. What's the game they would watch, J. Rose?
Wow, so, when I first came into the league, I had a couple of nice seasons with the Nuggets. I got drafted in the first round. We made the playoffs my rookie year. I got traded after my second year, made the rookie game. I was trying to come up in the league, broke the team's assist record. Like I was doing some things. And then all of a sudden, the Denver team got blown up and I got traded to Indy. And Larry Brown was my coach. And that year, he gave me 15 DNPs. He was trying to get me out the league. He brought me in the office one day. He was like, Chris Webber and Juwan Howard are up here. Ray Jackson and Jimmy King are down here. I'm going to decide which way you go. And I was like, no, you're not. Man. Yeah, he was trying to break me, P. He was trying to make me snap on him and get myself out the league. Man. And we didn't make the playoffs that year. You can look this up. We did not make the playoffs his final year. The same team the next year when Larry Bird came in was our coach, was playing in Game 7 versus the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. We went from not making the playoffs with the same team to playing against Mike and them in Game 7. So my favorite game was in 2000 when he left us. He went to Philadelphia, coached AI, and they had some great teams. is when Reggie and I both scored 40 on them in the same playoff game. Because that only happened like 3 or 4 times in the history of the league.
I remember that.
So that's mine.
That's tough.
Damn. So is this got to be a game that we can watch or a game of ourselves, or what that you can replay?
For you.
Or say, because if it's just a game I could watch over and over in quarantine, it'll be one of my favorite games ever. I had a chance to watch this. I was too little when it happened, but it's the Magic Johnson rookie year when they won the finals, when he jumped the center in Game 6 versus the Sixers and went for 42 and 15. That's one of the greatest games.
And 9 boards.
Yeah, that's one of the greatest games. I mean, could you imagine, like, just a rookie doing this? That's like Zion coming out here and winning the NBA Finals in his first year. I mean, that's something that's probably never going to be done from a superstar rookie.
I love that, P. And P, I want to add one thing onto your story because I remember that game and it was on tape delay. That's after Zion just won the championship in college. Remember, they got bounced in the Sweet 16. Correct. Remember, Zion got bounced in the Sweet 16. Magic won the championship in college and then won the championship as a rookie in the league.
Went back to back.
Okay, Paul, the game from your career.
That's a great one.
Over again.
Okay, a game from my career is probably, I'm going to say the Game 7, second round versus LeBron, Game 7. We went toe-to-toe. We both went for like 40-plus points. I think that game is really always going to stand out in my mind. I think that was like a real legacy game for me. And, we wanted to win the chip that year, but that game, people still talk about it.
No doubt. That's historic right there. And when you go back and look at all of the great battles of players, Magic and Bird, Jordan against Dominique, like guys that got numbers, like that falls into that category. That was crazy.
Yeah, that game was crazy.
True. I would probably go with MT. It was probably just because I only had 1 year in the league. It was November 8th, 2002. I'll never forget this because I was so stoked to play against him. Jason Kidd.
Oh, I remember that game. You had like 30 triple-double.
Yeah, they were coming to town, Paul.
Ooh.
They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They lost to the Spurs that year, 2-4, I think. But just going against Jay Kidd, right? We had ran this whole triangle, and Jay Rose can tell you, for days, we couldn't understand why in the hell we were running this offense. We had me, Jay Rose, and Jamal Crawford in the same backcourt. I don't know, you can take whatever you want for that. But kind of that window, and we just hooped that game. And I'll never forget this. After the game was over, somebody's like, yo, Jay, you had 26, 14, and 13. And my man at the bottom of the screen, Jay Rose, took the ball, and actually handed the ball to me at the end of the game, handed it to me and said, everybody gave me a round of applause for my first triple-double in the league. So that was that was a moment I would watch over and over again because I love just going against Jay Kidd. That was the best. Who can ask for something better?
And Jay, I don't know if you remember this part of the story. As he mentioned, Maria, he was a rookie. So guess what one of his chores was that morning? What? We rode to the game together. We rode to the game together, P. True story.
That's what's up. Gave him that OG vet talk.
Yes.
Hey, man, I had to get all those donuts, man. Those Krispy Kreme donuts. Those were in. Rookie thing every morning.
Jay, what, you still have the game ball somewhere?
What'd you say?
Still have the game ball somewhere?
I have it at home in North Carolina. Still sitting.
Dope.
Oh, I love that.
Dope.
Okay, Paul.
And Jay Kidd was a monster on D. You gave him that business.
He had a triple-double that game. There was nothing you could do about him, man.
I remember
You realize he weighed 225 pounds, man. He was a big boy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, dog.
I feel like Paul brought this up already, but those were the games from your careers. What about the game that you would just watch in general? Could be any game. I'm saying college or NBA. And you don't have to be a part of it, that you would watch over and over in quarantine, Jay Will.
Yo, so I'm going to geek out for a second because I remember I was 17 years old watching this game, and the greatest assassin of all time, Michael Jordan, 1998 NBA Finals, Game 6. Okay, and watching him go against the Utah Jazz. I remember Malone catching the ball on the right block, like with 40-some seconds left, kicking the ball to John Stockton. He makes a three. And I remember the broadcaster was like, he's 36 years old. He only has 10 points. And then the Jazz are up 3. And it's like, well, Chris Collins' dad, Doug Collins, was calling the game. And he was like, I think Jordan's going to go for a quick 2-for-1. Jordan comes down, drives on the right side of the court. And then they try to go back to the same play to Malone on the right block. And Jordan comes over from the weak side on the baseline.
Give me that.
Strips the rock. And then that's the infamous play. He holds the ball. They're down 1. Byron Russell's trying to get in his face. And just that drive and the ball go right-hand stop and that left arm just sweeping him. And that crossback and just, I don't know, Paul, like your jump shot kind of reminded me this at times because you did it. You would just hold it. You know, like when you shoot and just held it there.
Yeah.
And just watching that, I think Jordan in the game with like 45 points. And it was just an iconic moment because I saw that killer in Jordan's face. I don't know, was that his last game with the Bulls? I'm not sure, but it was like,
yes,
last game won the championship. They won
the mic.
Yeah, 6 championships in 8 years. And I was just blown away, man.
Yeah, I remember that game. Like, it was just like when you watched Jordan, you just had a feeling he was going to make the shot. Like, it was like no doubt in your mind. I remember like yesterday.
And they didn't send no double team or nothing towards him. It was like, think about all these guys these days complaining about double teams. They didn't send no double teams back then. Byron Russell's like, I got it, until he didn't.
Yeah. But you know the one thing that they did that teams don't always do, Jay, is best player got the ball, they ain't call timeout. So many times people will call timeout, and then you give people a chance to adjust. They ain't call timeout.
Mm-hmm. So you got the goat with the ball. Everybody calls
right. And for my game, Maria, how about this? I was thinking of so many different games, but I want to pay homage to the late, great Kobe Bryant and say his 81-point game. And the reason why I want people to watch that game thoroughly, number one, you could tease me. I'm built for the jokes. It's great. But number two, for all of the young people, I want you to pay attention to something really important. He didn't have any highlights in that game. When you look at like Kobe's top 25 or 50 plays, ain't none of them come from that game. When you watch that game, you see him holding up the number one and like making some shots. He was like locked in and focused. And the other thing, he never talked trash. He never said a word, P. I've seen you hold the ball at the top against Al Harrington and talk and then step back and make the shot. Imagine a dude scoring 81 points and never saying a word. Like Kobe's a straight up assassin. Nowadays, dudes do a little crossover, Jay, and they want to celebrate and miss the shot. Like he was all out there focused. So watch that about Kobe Bryant. That Mamba mentality, that's a real thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. I feel like we've seen so many great games, and it is sad this year because we're not going to get to see the ending to this season and all of the great games we maybe could have had happening right now. Like maybe we will see it into the season, but we were talking about the 8th seed, a couple of weeks ago and what that was going to look like moving forward for New Orleans or what it was going to look like for Memphis. If you could write the ending to this season as we stand right now, what would be the ending that you write? Like, what were you most looking forward to? You know what I mean? As we sit here and all we can do is daydream about it at this point. So what would you say, Jay Will?
I've been saying the whole year, and Paul was on this, I think, a little bit last year, and he's the first one to say it this year. I just thought the Milwaukee Bucks were so underappreciated by people. And I know that Chris Middleton, as your second guy, maybe wasn't the sexiest second guy out there, like an Anthony Davis or some other guys. But for as great of a year that LeBron had, and for as scary as the Clippers could have been, I would have loved to have seen the NBA Finals of the Bucks versus the Lakers. And for some reason, just to cement the greatness of Giannis, because people love to hate on him and lack of jump shots and all these other things. It's like the one thing he's missing is the jump shot ability. I just would have loved to see in the Game 7, if it came down to it, Giannis making a jumper over LeBron James to win the first championship for his career. Like, I think that would have cemented him becoming in the category of one of the greats that we've ever seen to play the game if he had had a moment like that. Because he didn't have a lot of moments, right? Jordan moments, Kobe moments, LeBron moments. like we were still waiting to see these Giannis type moments. So I wanted him to have a moment.
Well, yeah. I think mine was just kind of wanting to see the end of the Rookie of the Year race. As much as people said that John Morant had a handle on it, I just thought Zion was coming along so strong.
You just love Zion so much, you want to give Rookie of the Year after 13 games.
Stop it, J. Rose. Stop it, Jay.
We haven't seen this type of rookie year in quite some time, though. He was putting up numbers. He had the Pelicans in the playoff race. So if they would have made the playoffs or could still make it if the season continues, I don't know, man. That's tough. I mean, but the good thing is the future is in great hands with this young core, young rookie group, the young sophomore group with Luka Doncic. I mean, it was so many storylines that I seen from the season. And then the MVP race kind of tightened up toward the end when LeBron gave it to Giannis and then gave it to Kawhi in the same weekend. Mm-hmm. So there was a couple storylines I wish, we could have finished, or hopefully we can, but I was looking forward to that.
When you laugh, because we both laughed at the same time, but only the truth can say Luka Doncic's name like that. So he
makes it up every time, and I'm just
allowed to do so.
You still got to put in a little more work before P know his name. I respect that.
I don't know. I mess up everybody's name.
He's a Hall of Famer. He ain't tripping. The thing I was looking forward to is the Lakers versus the Clippers. Playing against each other in the playoffs. You got 4 of the top 10 or 12 players in the league: AD, LeBron, Kawhi, Finals MVP, Paul George. The Clippers are ascending. Steve Ballmer out here paying for the forum with cash, $400 million, flexing. So I wanted to see those teams in a playoff series because Giannis was last year's MVP. Probably was going to be this year's MVP. And Kawhi won the championship and Finals MVP last year. So LeBron, it's my turn. And you guys mentioned it. The way he put the smackdown that weekend, it seemed like the Lakers were ascending towards that.
It's funny. That's the last time we were all together. Was out
How about that?
Right? For that Lakers-Clippers game. But
that could have been easily the Final Four of the playoffs.
Easily.
J. Rose, how about Jim Dolan walking away with $400 million in cash? In cash.
This guy.
He needs to be walking away with $2 billion plus in cash and sell the Knicks.
AP, no. It's gonna cost about $5 billion.
Yeah. You're right.
That real estate, that's the value of the real estate.
Yeah.
And they got the air rights above MSG too. I mean, it's just Dolan's
printing money. So for those that keep saying sell the team, he ain't doing that. He'll sell the forum.
All right, Paul, you brought him up, Zion. We couldn't get through 2 NBA Countdown stay-at-home editions. Some news came out of New Orleans.
We love Zion.
We do. He had a penguin named after him at the New Orleans Aquarium, which is really cute. I don't know if Zion reminds me of a penguin personally. I would have picked like a whale shark or something like that, but that's what it's named in New Orleans. If you guys were an animal in the zoo, what would it be? Like, what do you want to be named after? Or what do you want to hold on to your name? The truth, Uncle P. What would it be?
The grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear? Because you're like, what do I?
No, because he's ferocious and dangerous, but a nice grizzly bear is, all soft and cuddly too. I'm a combination of the both.
Okay.
I like that one for him. And Paul P got a big back too. I'll say it was probably like my first tattoo or second tattoo, a panther. Because I feel like they look smooth, but then if you cross them, it could be a problem for you. And so that was my first tattoo. I got a Black Panther on my chest, so that'll be the choice that I use, Black Panther.
I'm gonna go with I got a tattoo too, Jay. I'm gonna go with the classic, the lion right here though. Just the lion.
Oh, new artwork. New artwork.
Kind of flex a little bit, Jay. See a little
new
flex?
Artwork. You ain't social distancing.
Social distance. What, Maria? Why you always hating?
Where did you get that? Maybe I've never actually seen that.
Like 2 years.
I'll
go with the lion just because I think at times I used to try to move around all the time, but I like just to sit. Just to sit and watch. I mean, be patient, J. Rose. You know what I mean? Be patient. And then when I need to attack, I'll attack.
I like that. What about you, Maria?
No, guys, I would most definitely be a Black Widow because
that's not
that's your nickname.
That's not an animal, is it? Is that in the zoo? I never saw one of those in the zoo.
I'm Black.
Black widows in the zoo?
Yeah,
it's not in the zoo, Maria.
That's where it's real dangerous. I just want to be something dangerous, and I'm a Black Widow.
I like how professional and intelligent Maria is. That every now and then it's like, oh, she is from the hood. It's so funny.
Maria would be a flamingo.
Well, guys, that is round 2 of Stay at Home NBA Countdown. I appreciate you guys coming through again, and everyone who's been watching. If you're enjoying it, tweet at us. Send us a message on Instagram if there's something you want us to talk about. We would more than love to talk about it and break it down and continue to bring you joy in a time that we know is very serious, but we also want to bring love and light to you as much as we can. So say bye to the people, y'all. You gave the people what they want. You did good. I'm proud of you.
Shake the love.
I'm about to get in this kitchen for lunch.
Bye, Flamingo.
I'm with you, P. See y'all soon.
See y'all soon.
Love.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.